Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is July 22nd and the year is 2011. It's a very, very important day for me. I literally escaped out of the Church of Scientology on this day 11 years ago today. Until this day, 11 years ago today, I honestly and truthfully did not think Scientology did fair game. And I know a lot of people know my story, but you never know who's going to be new, who's going to hear it, who might go, really? But that's how, brainwashed you are. You're just like in what I call the Truman Show, where you can't see the walls. And even though I was way up there, I was in the top secret mafia, yada, yada, just like any totalitarian organization, they keep it all factored off. They find out what you'll do and what you're good at, and then they have you do that. My father was a broadcaster. My mother was a major in journalism. They were great communicators. So what did they put me in? PR. Perfect. Just go talk to blah. And that's all I did for all the time that I helped with OSA. Most of the time. I mean, even opening the phony accounts, it was just open these accounts. We're not going to tell you what we're doing with them because that way they can't get you stuck in deposition. So it was just sort of like tricky. You know what I mean? They actually trick you. But I woke up on the internet. I started posting. I made 4,000 posts in 4 weeks from June till right now. And literally I just went nuts, right? And then Andreas Helderlin happened to help me with just a little technical thing. And I had thought he was like the evilest person on the planet. And here he was helping me. So it was like, oh my God, Andreas is helping me. So anyway, long story short, most of you know the story, but I woke up, escaped out, they canceled my van, the plane was canceled, the vice president was at LAX, I escape across the country, the Tampa police get me out of the Tampa airport with Bob, Stacy, and Jesse at 1:45 in the morning in Tampa. And my whole life changed then, immediately. Now, at the time, I had called Stacy and said, I'm not going to speak out. I'm not going to make videos. I'm doing nothing. I'm leaving under the radar, right? And that was my intention. But as I got to the LMT, which was the Lisa McPherson Trust, which was around for a short amount of time, I was on the phones talking to parents who were dying to talk to their children. Where are they? How can we get in touch with them? And I just realized this is awful. So I'd gone with Bob and Stacy up to Vermont to New Hampshire. And then we came down to Boston and he said, well, we're going to picket. And I said, I'm not picketing. Just drop me off at the mall, right? That was my plan. But things changed. You can watch Magoo dancing in Boston. That was me there. And the guy just kept videotaping me. And I was kind of like waving like, yeah, I know. I was there 2 weeks ago. But he came right over to the van, put his camera on the van, which I was in there just trying to cool off, and it just ticked me off. It was like, you know what? I have a voice too. And I haven't shut up since. You know what I mean? I have a lot to say. I've made over 400 videos. I cannot thank all of you around the world who have helped me. I mean, so many people have helped me that I can make these videos. You know what I mean? I couldn't even name all the people that have helped me, but you know who you are. And some of you don't know who you are who have helped me. It's just been incredible, the amount of people that have helped me. But I had the great fortune of 2 nights ago, a gentleman wrote to me saying 5 years ago his whole world crashed. And he lost his religion, he got into a deep depression, and he started drinking 3/5 a day of vodka and popping pills and passing out. And then he started watching YouTube. He said it was very young, and I just started watching it. It was me and my 4 walls and YouTube. And all of a sudden, Anonymous started showing up, and the big battle with that, and he started watching it, and he found my videos, and he found the Tori Talks to CFI, which is an old video. I mean, it's not old, but it was like in the early 2000s. I went to the CFI, which is the Center for Inquiry, which are skeptics. And I talked to them and explained how I got in, what happened, why do people keep staying in, and how do you get out. And that's on my Tori Magoo 44 on YouTube, and it's also on Mark Bunker's zenotv.com. And Mark has I think he has a longer, because he's a director, he has a bigger, it's only 4 parts. Mine is, I think, 8 parts or something like that. But watch it. It's a really, really good video. But he said from that, I watched it over and over and over. And he said, if I told you how many times, I'd be embarrassed. And I don't even remember. But I watched it so much that I all of a sudden went, I've got to stand up. That's what I've got to do. And he did. And he stood up and he stopped drinking. And it's been 1.5 years now that he's been free from drinking. And I really want to congratulate you and everyone around the world who has in any way changed your life for the better. It's so great. And if you're in that spot right now where maybe you're really having a really, really, really horrible time, we've all been there where we're having a really, really, really horrible time. And it does take some courage to stand up and make the leap. But one thing I had forgotten in the last video I made is I'd said, I felt like I was standing up on a cliff 1,000 feet high, and there was a little sign at the bottom that said, you might make it if you jump. And I did make the leap. I leaped, and my friends were there to help me. They were. But the truth of the matter is, especially if you're Sea Org, but even for Scientologist public, it is nothing, and everyone who's out agrees with me on this, it's nothing more than if you think of being on one side of a street, there's a line in the middle, you walk across to the other side. That's it. You're out. You're free. You're done. That's it. It is nothing more than that. All the rest of what you think it is in your head. Yes, some people are probably not going to talk to you. Okay. Like Andrea said to me, what kind of friends could those be? Because I was crying, saying the same thing. I'm going to lose all my friends. Everyone I knew was in Scientology. And I said, I'm going to lose all my friends. I might lose my husband of 27 years. And he wrote me back, and he said, and I feel the same now. I'm crying, reading your email. I'm so sorry you're having to go through this, but I've got to ask you this one question. What kind of friends could those be if they're going to leave you because you change your mind? And that is an excellent question. Make the leap. I have had so much fun since I've left. I've made some wonderful friends all around the world, as have they. We've all gotten together over and over and over. There's a support group out here that is incredible. Yes, there's differing opinions. There are. There's the critics, there's Anonymous, there's ex-Scientologists, there's Marty and Mike, there's the independents. There's like a lot of variety, but isn't that kind of cool in a way when you think about it? I mean, it's like this huge rainbow of stuff that you can choose from. Where do you feel like going? It's not like, oh, you have to be here with our church, and that's it, and you have to think this way and do this way, and like when someone said at the party the other night, I can say what I want, I can do what I want, I can go where I want, I can talk to whoever I want. There's no one out here telling you what to do, okay? Now granted, Scientology has run fair game on me for 11 years. They've done all kinds of dirty tricks on me, and here's one of them. They tried to spread this around in my neighborhood. This is from their Religious Freedom Watch. It's a 3-page thing that they put on every single doorstep in my neighborhood. Now, when I was in, I told them, you are creating your own enemies. They wanted me to go to Mark Bunker's house and do what Dan Mernan did and try to call him a child molester or something. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. My neighbors would stand up for me if somebody did that. Sure enough, now it's many years later, they spread this around my neighborhood, and my neighbor went around to every single house, every single doorstep, even apartments, and got every single one and brought them over to my house. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. It rules. Yes, Scientology has declared me suppressive, and I consider that a great honor. It's a huge win. It's the EP of Scientology. You are done once you're declared suppressive. Now you can do whatever you want to do. It's like, am I some evil, bad person like Hitler, like they tried to compare me to with a bunch of ministers I was talking to? It was like, you could see in the ministers' faces, it's like, Hitler was an SP and Tory's an SP. That's what Barbara said. The lady who ran the Pasadena org, I think her name's Barbara, but she said, Hitler was an SP and Tory's an SP. And you could see these ministers going, no, that ain't gonna fly. And I was like, yes! Because it was just like such a perfect analogy of insanity. They are getting worse and worse. Miscavige, you are totally blowing it so badly. I cannot believe the video that Mike Rinder posted of these fundraising things. Do you realize in that event, not all the events I went through for 30 years were about tech, wins, expansion, people having a great time. You know what your event was all about? Buildings and more buildings and mess, as L. Ron Hubbard used to call it. Matter, energy, space, and time. That was it. There weren't any wins about anything. And I thought, wow, you guys have really, besides looking like lunatics, and if you haven't seen this video, go onto Marty's site and see the video with Mike, that Mike Rinder posted of the event of David Miscavige and all these knuckleheads doing fundraisers in Europe. It's like, what a bunch of pinheads. It's so embarrassing. Please, if you're in, come on out. We are having an excellent time. There's a ton of people out here. There's way more people out than there are in. And Mr. Anonymous, on my 11th birthday, would like to say, my anniversary, would like to say hello to all of you too. I know you haven't seen him. How are you doing? Good. All right, he's doing good too. All right, so we say peace out. Have a wonderful weekend. And I love all of you. Thank you so much, every single person, for all of your support. It means a ton. And please keep helping each other and pass on the love. Bye-bye.